let's hear it from the captains, the representatives of the teams themselves, as to how this match will go. We have comps, I believe, and we've got aggressor here today. Gentlemen, thank you for coming back.
Hey, guys.
All right, aggressor. So now that you guys know that second place is yours for sure, you guys don't, arguably don't have any pressure on your shoulders right now going up against Elevate. How are you guys feeling? Where's the team at going into this match? You guys looking forward to it? You feel ready? You nervous? Where you at?
I mean, we're not nervous, but I know how good Elevate is. I played with a couple of them in Bulba, so I know how good their team is. But I'm expecting what Rookhill said, basically. I want to take a couple matches off them. That'll make me happy. I mean, they are, the third best team in the world, so it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to give them my all,
All right, fair enough. And now, Comps, you over there with the smile on your face. No.
That is the biggest smile I've ever seen on Comps' face.
Yeah, he can actually smile.
No, why are you smiling so big, Comps? What makes you so happy?
I mean, he's just going into this already defeated, so I think that's pretty funny.
How does it feel, Comps, knowing that your team just has that effect on people? That you don't even have to play the match, and that they already have that feeling?
Well, I mean, I guess it's a good feeling if the psychological warfare plays a part in our matches. I guess that's a good thing that it's on our side. But, I mean, overall, anything can happen, as you've seen today with the match that happened beforehand.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep this one short because I'm just ready to get this match underway. Dare, aggressor, you have any final thoughts for Comps and Elevate?
You're going to lose, kid.
All right. Comps, Elevate, any final thoughts for aggressor, Dare Rising?
Good luck and have fun.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Thank you for joining us.
Bye. All right.
I don't think I've ever actually seen Comp smile before,
Not
to be completely
big.
honest.
That was a big, shiny smile.
So seems to be enjoying himself. But, when you're sitting in first place, you have, a 3-point lead over the next closest team.
Yeah.
No one, he's already afraid. You can kind of see it. They're kind of like, yeah, we'll give it our best. No expectations. Just knowing that, and that's the second place team right now. Mm-hmm. So as you're sitting there as the first place team, it's gotta feel pretty good.
Yeah, you're just gonna show up and you're like, all right, we're gonna get wrecked. Let's see what happens. Yep. Now, if they 0-7 this, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, or Elevate just, maybe get a little bit too far ahead of themselves.
Maybe.
Let Derek get under them. So we'll have to see what happens as we head into Sand River up first.
I like starting matches off with Sand River. It's the newest map in the league. It's probably the least known to all our viewers as far as how it's played in this format.
Besides the season, it's only played one season before in the regular map pool. Yeah. And then seasons before it has been the tiebreaker a couple of times. Grand Finals, tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I remember
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
First Grand Finals, the match with Fnatic. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Great
JP2s, 1390s.
No heads up.
Yep. So that was a long time ago, and now we're here many, many seasons later, 4 Grand Finals later, and it is back in the map pool. Lineups coming in, Elevate and I7, 3 5As, 2 Batchats, and Vetro opting for the Object 140. Dare Rising, 2 5As, 3 Batchats, a Patton, and a T100.
What do you think of that T100? It's not bad.
Cap pressure.
Yeah.
Small tank, good camo, hard to hit. Park it on cap after doing some scouty stuff, and
you gonna park it behind something, or are you just gonna park it?
I just park it there. It's blind fire. I mean, the key thing that a lot of teams rely on this map is just solid blind fire to get the resets. There's only a couple spots tanks can sit in, as long as you're covering certain angles. And if they're gonna be blind firing at you, you have 2 things: have enough armor so even if the blind fire hits you, it doesn't penetrate, or just be a really small tank to hit. And that is what this T100 does. It is a very small tank to hit.
You want to know what my favorite thing about the T100 is?
What's that?
It looks like it's wearing a monocle. That's what I always have loved about
what
this
has been seen can't be unseen, Randall.
It's got
Dear
a
God.
monocle. It's so fancy.
Fanciest tank in the WGLNA. You heard it here first, folks. Now, Elevate, nothing too surprising. They have what looks like Ox in the 5A down all the way to the south. Dodoma climbing the hill up into the north along with Canadian Impact, and the rest of the tanks just chilling out around the middle. And it looks like it's going to be external going over to either join Ox or hold that corner just to cover him. As these Batchats for Dare come streaking in, it doesn't look like they're going to stop anytime soon.
If they don't, that's going to be great for them because
And
they
they're
could
going right for
actually-
Ox.
Do they know he's there? They
No,
don't really.
but he's kind of isolated right now. He gets his first shot off.
Oh, he spotted. They know he's there now. Oh, if they didn't before, they do now. And Dark Ninja might even get into position to do something with that. Although with Vetro and Brett's positions, those are tricky to go around. And so Dark, he's gonna just back onto Cap. That's all.
Yep, and T100 just sitting here on Cap, just barely on, turn sideways, small profiles he can make, and ready to run away if he gets spotted.
Although,
Like such.
are their tanks in position appropriately spotting all the angles? Like, you see where external is? Is anyone spotting that angle?
Not yet. All these bat shots are just kind of grouped up in the lower area, and I don't think that Elevate realized how many bat shots are here. And they could find the isolation onto Ox, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're grouping up, and they could just push into Ox. Now, they'll pay a toll, but this toll wouldn't be too heavy right now because I don't know how many guns are exactly in position to deal with. And here comes the push from Dare. They're going for it. 4 tanks. Going to push up over into Ox Mathis.
Oh, Ox even got distracted for a moment, looking the wrong way. Loses out on a little bit of precious time. And nice crossfire. My little 1, 2, 3 is down to 446 hit
Harmless
points.
taking a lot of damage. Ox getting behind that rock. Picks up the kill onto 1, 2, 3.
Exceptionally positioning himself right now. He's a tricky target. No one can shoot him. He's hidden from Nationwide Aggressor and from Harmless, although Harmless does risk it, goes down, but
Ox
it's...
picks up the kill.
And Dare is down 2 tanks right now for just
What
1.
a play from Ox Mathis.
Yeah,
he ended up going down, but that was a 2-for-1 trade. He played that exceptionally well.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's
why
that
Ox
is a
Mathis-
play from one of the best players in the league right there. That is absolutely what that is. It's, hey, this is 1 tank. He's isolated. He's alone, guys. Come kill me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're down 2 tanks.
Because guess what? Elevate's not going to leave a tank out in the open without anyone to support it like that.
I questioned how good the support fire would be, but Wallhacks and
Everyone reacted.
everyone else got into position, got their shots off. That's 2 tier 10s down. That's 5 tanks left alive. That's a full tank advantage. That is a trade that Elevate will take every time. 2 for 1, just straight up 2 for 1. Yes, you take that every single time.
Every single time. Now, every single time when you're down 2 tanks, what do? Dare's got a really tricky situation to deal with. Hit points wise, they're down to a good 2k and some change. And they're down a tank. Their position isn't exactly great. They've got a minute on Cap, but they're not really in a position to hold off an assault from Elevate. Because even now, you're seeing a Bat Chat sneak into the backfield. It's Canadian Impact, by the way. I'm going to jump over to him. As he sneaks around the backside, he'll be a minute out, actually. Vetro, Bird in the middle, and Durgel holding off against External. So, what's your solution here if you're Dare? Are you going to be able to complete this Cap, or are you not? Because I don't think this can hold much longer. This is going to get torn apart in just a minute.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the south right now because Canadian Impact and Nationwide are going to find each other, and they could square off, and no one's really in position to support Impact except for the tanks in the middle ridge. He's going to go up and over and just trade 1 for 1.
And
Aggressor doing what he can to get some shots off the support.
Nationwide's at a slight lead in this 1v1. And it's going to kind of stall out for just a second. Dark Ninja takes a shell, leaving. You see him there. And we're going to go ahead and take a listen in with Elevate, see what they're doing, see what their plan is as they close this one out.
Aggressor's looking. Aggressor just shot. Can we double check?
I'm driving right now. We need to make sure we get down across under them.
Yeah.
Can't shoot them to the ridge.
Oh no, I'm like stuck on something.
Do I need to push you?
They have 2 one
No,
shots.
there's 2 1-shots down, so.
Kill Bird, kill Bird.
Gonna hide here?
He's tracked. I can. Oh, never mind.
That's a 1 shot.
Retrack him, retrack him, retrack him, retrack him.
No, he's not.
He's retracked.
Okay. You hit him and I'll kill
We
him.
gotta be careful in this. Dip.
I can watch aggressor. I can watch the high ground. Don't worry.
They have 2 1 shots. 1 shot, 1 shot.
I'm loading up here.
I
Some
have a
aggressor, I can go push
fairly good
this.
amount of health still
Can you get
too,
ready
so.
to push aggressor here? External.
Yeah, I can push south.
I can come down there too potentially
There's
here.
one back.
Nationwide? Yeah, I'm gonna head. Oh, he's shooting at me. I'm gonna head towards the patent.
The other bat is a 1-shot, right? Yeah.
They're both
Yes, they're
one shots.
both one shot.
Oh, the T100's a one shot as well.
I'm help you external right now.
You can just come with me, Vetra, unless you're low. Or you're low. Hey, just cover me until someone like pushes on me. You're
You
fine.
left.
T100
Oh, what the?
behind.
Shit.
Wally might die.
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of safe right now.
He's over.
Alright, I'm pushing aggressor.
Are you even hurt?
He's looking at me
Yeah, I
right
got
now.
win.
He's looking towards you now.
He's
That's probably
just
gonna
get
kill
under. Just get under him and so he YOLOs. Look at the pattern. Look at the pattern. Wally. Yeah, I'm looking. Again, I didn't have the shot.
T100 shot. Nice. I think he wins this.
God damn it. Fuck this.
See, he wins this.
All right, looks like this will be over in a moment. Dark Ninja just with 312 hit points.
Nice. 7 barreling towards him. Sadama looking for the shot. Is he going to go for the Goomba? He's going to try. T100 making it hard. Actually, it's the track shot, but Sadama puts him out of his misery. And Elevate closing that one out 1-0. Rather effective, gotta say. Well-rehearsed strat out of Elevate. They understood what to do. Ox handled that as perfectly as he could have in that situation, really made them work for it.
Yep.
The cover fire was borderline spectacular.
It was well constructed to exactly what we would expect of a team of this caliber. The moment there's one of their tanks on the flanks is engaged, crossfire comes in, and that tank retreats into a better position.
And something that we see out of Elevato so often, absolutely no spread in the points this game. Everyone within 900 damage of each other on that final scoreboard. So
Nice.
real team effort there.
That takes a lot of work. Like you
Yep.
guys have to understand. It's like, okay, you know, Wally's doing too much damage. He's like, guys, I got to back off. You know, I can't really mess up our stats.
So overall, though, just Ox making them work so hard. Like even Harmless going down there, and it took 4 tanks to get one out, and got this
This was cool. That was
spectacular shot there by Dark Ninja.
that was some good teamwork by Dare, using the T100 to come on in, letting the bat get, just low enough. And looking at the post-game stats, there's Wallhacks up on top with 2,300 with 57 fantasy points. Nationwide and Dark Ninja right behind them. I think it's important to note that those two players really did play quite well this battle.
Yep, and then Dodo, External, Impact, Vetro, everyone just look at the damage. Just all nice and neat, consistent, decent points. And then
Now-
Ox on the second page, 63 fantasy points. That's not bad there, picking up 2 kills in the short amount of time he was live. So he got the kill shots on both those tanks.
But look at Harmless and 1-2-3. These were the two players, I believe, that attacked Ox
Yeah,
Madness.
1-2-3 was in first. Harmless was the one second.
Yeah, they didn't stand a chance. The second they got out in the open, they were just, I think it was even 3 shells just hit 1-2-3. This just, all of a sudden he was down to a one shot. And because of that, there wasn't someone to kind of chase that heavy out of his cover.
Yep, and looking at the lineups, going into battle number 2, 3 5As, 3 bad chats into T100, 4 Elevate, Dare Rising, 2 5As, a Sturv, 2 bad chats, and 2 Object 140s as they are now on defense.
All right, I love those 140s. Nice consistent fire. Pair them with a few bat chats. Got a
Coming-
highly mobile force.
Coming a lot back more into meta these days. Kind of got faded out for a while.
Yeah, it's always about whether or not you really think that Object 140 is going to move a lot. Because that seems to be where 140s fail a lot of teams, is when they're not able to use the mobility and gain advantages that way. When they're forced to just be a damage farmer, really you should have chosen something else half the time. That's something to watch out for. And it's not to say the tank is at all bad. I actually love the 140. It's just that if you find yourself immobile and just firing an entire battle, there's a lot of wasted potential.
This is just seconds away from going catastrophically wrong from Dare seconds into the game. If these mediums get spotted out of the fight, that is an instant overmatch in the north that Elevate will take. So the Sturv 140s both in the south there.
Oh, yep.
They're pushing over. Bird's going to be in a world of hurt here. He's doing what he can, trying to get on the low ground. He's going to just drive away and eat the shots. Try to stay alive.
Nice track. Durzel fires from his raised position, making this slightly costly for Elevate, but not too high of a toll. And because of that, Dare can at least keep Bird alive. Most of these engagements would not have gone so well for another team.
Yep, and now they've regrouped. They have good cover positions at least. Aggressor's still in the back. He may find that T100. He can handle the 1v1 with the T100 just because the 140 should win that fight, just in DPM and hit points and armor and everything, basically.
Nice play. By the way, at the same time, Canadian Impact is making a solid distraction of himself in the backfield, keeping a 140 at bay and spotting the STRV. So a little bit of credit to him. He's going to try and make a nuisance of himself for the next few minutes. He spots a 140 on the flank. That's crucial information.
The real key is going to be Aggressor right now. He needs to get in behind and to deal with Canadian Impact. Canadian Impact is the key to the puzzle that Dare have to find right now. If they take him out of the place, this can fall for Elevate. This offense they're running is not impenetrable, and Aggressor's going to come up behind him right now, but they realize that's a problem. The 5As are just going to drive forward into the overmatch before they have time to get in those positions. Good shots onto that STRV, just working that echelon. And in the middle, Aggressor's trying to get in here as Canadian Impact pushed over into the other guns. He's down to a one-shot in the distance there. He goes down to Aggressor. And Dare Rising not out of this yet. They're actually up a gun right now on defense.
Yeah, wall hacks. One more shell will take him down. This is the advantage of those 140s, just because nice track from Aggressor in the mid. He should be able to get Wally in one more shell, and he does.
Good pickup there from Aggressor. And now the all-in is going to come here for Elevate, I think. Nope, just pulling forward, just going to try to this echelon. Nox is going to join them. Yep, here it comes. They need to find this isolation first. They're down on HP. They need to get their guns in position. Good isolation there. Take down one. They need to hurry up and get Bird out. Brett trying to hold off 1, 2, 3. That consistent fire tank. Ox simping for Brett where he can. External does go down to Bird. Tadoma should find a shot here. Bounces actually. And now Ox is going to push over into 1, 2, 3. He's going for it. Picks up the kill. Aggressor onto Brett though. This is just going back and forth, and Dare in control right now.
Just a little bit. Ox Mathis, really low health, and Vetro, this entire fight, I was following him expecting that star player to just get some work done. He barely was able to find a shot. And because of that, he wasn't able to deal some pretty crucial damage. And, well, current position is not looking great for him. Spots nationwide, decides not to fire on the move, decides risk the shot, worth it. Second one into a 140, and he's got one left. There we go, now he's got to leave. You can see what he can do with Ox Mathis, but Ox can't really take another shell. So Vetro's going to have to do what he can to stay mobile, and a difficult target, but at the range he's engaging, that's not looking good. And Durgel's able to pick up a kill. Now Vetro's running straight at Durgel. Might even go for a ram shot. No.
Just trying to
Jukes
juke him.
him.
Gets the ram, still alive. But Nationwide picks it up, closes it out, and that is going to make the series 1-1. So defense holding on there on Sand River, not surprising. Now, you could argue Dare picking up a round is a little bit surprising, but there's a second place team, and that is a Sand River defense that they ran very well.
The 140s did plenty of work. Looking at I'm actually going to check out those post-game stats. The guys left alive Nationwide and Aggressor actually didn't do the most damage for their team. The highest damage dealers on the side of Dare that battle were actually a bunch of the guys that went down earlier. Those 5As, Bird and Harmless, for example. They get top damage, about 2,500 a piece. And so that's just what happened. It was just a slugfest.
Yep. No, it was... you know, I thought for a second Elevate were going to recognize what was going on, but Canadian Impact didn't get the spots on both the 140s, only saw one of them. They'd recognized that many tanks were out of the fight. That could have been over right then and there. But it didn't happen. Canadian Impact backed away, and he got into a decent spot, but the problem was he got isolated out. Aggressor made the smart play, got him behind him.
He was too immobile.
From the second that he was taken out of the fight, that's where it really started to snowball over in favor of Dare. Just the control of the mid, really having them boxed in. Bird making this position work really well, staying alive for way longer than he should have, in my opinion. He should have been dead earlier in the game, but he bounced a few shots, made the smart decision to get out of there. And between Aggressor and Bird's individual play there, just those two alone, they really opened up the rest of the map for their team and are the reason they won that game. And looking at Bird, 2,500 damage, 55 fantasy points. Vetro, 2,300 damage, 1 kill, 60 fantasy points. Harmless to Doma, Dark Ninja, Durgel, and 1, 2, 3 to finish off that first page. All doing decent. Second page, nothing too surprising except to see Ox down there, only 1,400 damage, 3 kills, 43 fantasy points, doing what he can, but got isolated out fairly early on. Actually, no, he stayed alive for a good bit, but he was down so much HP from early on that he really couldn't poke and engage, and then he had to try to save Brett for a little while, so it's just, you know, his gun really wasn't in the fight for as long as you would have liked to see it.
Precisely. All right, now we're going to move on to Ruinberg. And so, Classic map, very difficult to attack on. For the longest time, I think it was considered the most defensible map in the game. And
Especially back in the 742 days.
oh yeah, definitely then. Now, it's a little easier in some ways.
No, we've seen some of these teams, some of the offenses they've brought out, especially in the South, they can really open that up these days. They really understand the angles. And looking at the lineups, we may see some of that because Elevate coming in with a Mouse, 3 5As, a Foch B, and 2 Bat Chats, and they are the defense. Dare Rising, a Mouse, 4 5As, and 3 Bat Chats, and Ox, the sole Mouse for Elevate, going towards this A6 village in the north.
So, important things to note about that Mouse positioning. It'll be tricky for him to get back if the fighting happens far enough south. But he should be able to get back and join the rest of the team should it become necessary. Now, what's important to note, Canadian Impact is taking a very aggressive opening scout run. This is nice. I like these kinds of plays. And because of that, looks like Nationwide is spotted, so that's a good tell. Canadian Impact shifts his position, and will he spot anyone else? Here's the trick. Looks like Aggressor, Nationwide, and Durgel aren't going to take the first turn, rather the second turn. Because of that, avoiding the Canadian Impact spotting position. Wallhacks at the same time taking damage because he's trying to peek.
External in that 5A, though, has gone all the way down to K0, so he's going to be really hard to dig out. And now that they know where Canadian Impact is, he's just going to play Ring Around the Rosie in the buildings here, and we'll have to see if Elevate can punish them as they try to go for Impact there. But he has cover on both sides, and now he's trading some shots with the Bat Chats.
Trading? He just got obliterated.
And R.I.P.
Rest in pepperoni, buddy. All right. So with that, Canadian was in a dangerous position. It was risky. Cover fire could have been there, but Elevate did not have any cover fire at the exact moment that everyone focused on him. And you just saw how he was completely deleted. That is probably one of the most ideal examples of what crossfire is supposed to be. Like, just focus fire in general. That's the tank. Destroy it. And that's how effective it can be when everyone actually pens and fires at the same time.
And Ox getting into the fight right now, coming up that 5 line, trying to close, but the tanks for Dare just pushing forward right now. We'll have to see if this crossfire holds up, as this Bat Chat hit squad is just pushing into the tanks in the south here, and Wallhacks is on reload right now, so this could be the right time for them.
Ouch. All right, Harmless is able to get in undamaged. Wallhacks on reload. 2 shells come in towards Harmless, and a third. External now starts to take damage in Harmless. Harmless is going to be seeing what he can do. At the same time, those heavy tanks on cap have decided to push forward under the distraction of the Bat Chats, and Harmless looks to re-engage on the 5A.
External getting one more shot off on 1, 2, 3, but now both Bat Chats are reloading, and I don't know that he'll realize it, and he can help support the tanks in that middle village as Vetro does go down to Aggressor. Now External's going to push forward and try to find the Bat Chats. He knows that they're reloading, so he's just trying to find the shots right now. Takes one onto Harmless. They're both down to 1 shots. Ox still has the majority of his HP, but he's isolated over on that middle road.
And there is 1, 2, 3 on the reload. Not quite reloaded yet, though. And he's spotted, so External knows he's there. Harmless is going to play for time, and External knows he just has to play this Ring Around the Rosie game, but he's got to play it just right so that he can make both Bat Chats as ineffective as possible. And there we go.
He gets one, but Harmless should be able to pick up that kill.
Bounce on the first
Bounce.
shot.
Can he get another one?
Tricky.
Well, he can. He gets the second one, and he's going to be reloaded.
There he goes. Gets the third.
Now it's just down to Ox. A 1v4, but one more shot. He should win the 1v1 with Bird. And I want to say it would be impossible, but
no, you can
2 of these is a 1 shot. Nope, he bounces. That should do it.
That should.
He needed to pick him up then and there.
Yeah. That.
Hey, Randall.
Yeah. Hey, James. What's up?
Is today opposite day?
I'm wearing underpants, so I don't think so.
Because Dare Rising are 2-1 up right now over Elevate.
Yep. This will happen from time
This
to time.
ties the record for most rounds dropped by Elevate in a single match.
Yep.
Only Eclipse has been able to do this so far.
Of all teams that could do it, James.
Second place team showing why they're there. And if Dare managed to win this game, I don't even know. Now, speaking of winning games, let's go ahead and get an update from the offline matches.
Yes, those are going to be
go for it.
5-3, Teal Team 6 Aquatic M60s. And the latest update right now is Top Tier with 5-4, winning on Himmelsdorf in a tiebreaker over F7.
Yeah, and the keynote there is Top Tier actually won a Mines offense against F7 to close that, or to force that to OT. So good stuff there out of Top Tier.
Yeah, and actually some lengthy battles to note as well. A lot of them going into 9 minutes, which just shows how that those teams were quite neck and neck that whole time. So nice.
Not bad.
Not bad. These are some rather different scores than we were expecting for today.
Like I said, I think it's bad. I think it's opposite day. Just good play by a lot of these teams. Misplay in a few different places. Bird making that one-on-one versus Ox. You know, really keeping Ox out of the fight for a long period of time. And look at the points as they come in here. Nationwide, 3,200, 87 fantasy points. Harmless, another 32, 81 fantasy points. Ox doing what he can. Top damage dealer, 3K. 58 fantasy points. Then Bird, Bread, External, and Aggressor. Aggressor, 76 fantasy points. Not bad at all.
Not bad. All right, and then we scaled down. Yeah, poor Dark Canadian. Canadian got destroyed, man.
You know, I thought he was going to be able to live for a little while longer in that position if the rest of the guns supported him, but just they played that perfectly. They understood the
he got spotted
isolation.
in just the right place at just the right time that Dare was able to do something. If he hadn't been spotted for a little while longer, he might have been able to get away with a lot more damage.
Yep.
Just maybe, because that batch hit squad was going to go and the 5A was going to be on cap. There was the potential.
Yep.
Just not this time.
Yep, and as we head on to game number 4 on Ruinberg, it is going to be Elevate, 2 IS-7s, 2 Mice, a Foch B, and 2 Bat Chats. Meanwhile, Dare Rising, an IS-4, 2 5As, a Foch B, and 3 Bat Chats.
Plenty of Foch
a
Bs.
night this is turning into, and yeah, 2 Foch Bs. The Foch B has, you know, I expected it to be a little bit more prevalent when it got introduced to the game. But teams have done a really good job at making it a non-factor for the most part. Now, it has a lot of things going for it. 2,400 damage in the clip, fairly mobile, fairly accurate. It's decent reload on the clip, but you know, overall, the lack of a turret and the low penetration values have made it relatively ineffective, and teams have done a good job at countering it out.
So, actually, wait, this is the question. No one's ever said that the pen value was low enough that it was a huge problem, at least to me.
The AP pen is the lowest of the tier 10 tank destroyers, and the APCR, I believe, comes in at 330, so
Totally
still
workable.
It's workable. However, against a mouse, you will struggle.
Especially at range.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were meaning something a lot worse.
No, not quite that bad, but
Like 300 pen.
yeah.
Like 300 pen heat at tier 10 or something.
Yeah.
Which would be
Like
so
the
miserable.
Kronwagen.
Yes, like the Kron.
And Bird really bouncing a lot of shots in the north there.
And what is this move from Dare? Aggressive from Aggressor and Durgil. So they're going to push forward into Dodoma and External. Not a normal play. Not something we'll see every day. And it looks like, is that going to be corner games we're going to be playing?
And look at this spread from Dare Rising right now. The IS-4 in the north. The 2 5As have pushed all the way over to G6. So arguably may could get isolated if they're not careful. And then the Batchat's all the way down in the south. They have this map covered from head to toe as Elevate trying to find the isolations onto these 5As, and the Batchat and Foch B in the south, and Vetro could really open up some damage here in a second.
And it's Batchat charge. Dark Ninja charges towards Canadian Impact, takes most of his hit points. And Dare has decided to leave any defensible positions and instead make this engagement in just a strange position, something that's not exactly expected. And because of that, well, Dark Ninja's going to go down. Foch B looks out towards Nationwide, some kills happening. Heavy Tank's going down. And it looks like Elevate is being given a brawl that they couldn't have even asked for nicely. Just Dare's giving it to them.
Yeah, you know, like I pointed out, Dare were pretty spread that game, and then the spread was workable. However, they then opted to go for the push there, which was really disjointed, especially because Bird is all the way out of the fight here.
Yeah,
up with Bread.
But you see what they're going for, right?
Yeah.
Had it actually caught Elevate in a state of change, or a state of just flex, or whatever you want to call it, if they hadn't been settled into solid positions, that would have gone better for them.
Right.
But because Elevate was not
timing wasn't
quite
there.
yeah, because they assumed Elevate was moving a little bit faster than they were.
Yep.
And, well, good job on Elevate for
Closing it out. They're going to pull us back 2-2, and guess what map number 3 is?
Well, I know, it's written down. It's Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, Himmelsdorf, though.
It's right there on that page.
Well, Himmelsdorf is going to be one of Elevate's best maps.
Yeah, that's not good for Dare. Yeah, it's not good.
That's going to be a real struggle train for them.
I love watching when everyone's just like screaming towards those last tanks. Like, my damage.
Everyone wants those fantasy points. And Bird doing what he can here against. And even Brett's trying to push up against him, trying to kill him by ram damage. Here comes Wallhacks with the ram. Takes 700 damage himself, but picks up the kill. And that's going to tie it up 2-2.
There you go. Okay. That's Elevate, you know, showing what they got. That was about normal.
Pretty.
I mean, it
about what
ultimately
you expected out of that game.
Dare just did that really weird push out of out of the most defensible positions that generally they've got control of. I really want to ask them about that if they end up taking away the win tonight. Why they would decide to do that exactly? I know it's probably to catch Elevate off guard, maybe in transition or just out of position. But they ended up walking into a Foch, Batchats, and their heavy tanks ended up fighting an overmatch that didn't have the support needed to really.
Not at all.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that's a good way to wrap their battle up.
Yeah, I mean, it was just they were in a good position. They had good crossfires here. The Batchats got spotted pretty early on, and they just did a good job making them bleed and hesitate. And the 5As really weren't able to be effective because the I-7s and Mouse for Elevate were already around that corner. So the 5As couldn't do anything, so that left the Batchats out on their own. And you see the end result here. And 1, 2, 3 doing what he could in that Foch B. 4K damage, 100 fantasy points. Not
on the
bad.
losing team. On the losing team.
And Brett also, no, not Brett, Bird also doing 4K on the losing team. And then Brett. 3K, external, Dodoma, impact, wall hacks. Nothing too surprising there. What is surprising is seeing Vetro and Ox on the second page together.
It happens. It happens.
Happens, but you know, rarely, but not getting a lot of damage. And then obviously 5As really weren't able to be into the fight that long, and the Batchats got focused out pretty early on. So nothing too surprising there on those second pages. However, we go into Himmelsdorf now, which is Elevate's playground.
Yeah. And so this is the big challenge. Dare is on the attack. Okay, so Dare's got a rough place in this. Starting on attack means you just have to throw what you got at him, and then you're going to go ahead and switch sides.
Yep, and we're going to see the Type 5s come out for Dare on Himmelsdorf. We've been seeing this out of them recently.
Of course, Type 5s. HE always does damage, James. HE always does damage.
And here we go, Elevate, a 50B, a Type 5, 3 5As, an E3, and a Batchat. Dare Rising, a 50B, an I7, 2 Type 5s, 5A, an E3, and a Batchat of their own.
All right, so nice E3s, 5As. All right, nothing too crazy. I guess 2 Type 5s is a little much. I would have preferred Mouse Type 5. I don't know. I'll wait and see the results.
Well, Type 5s have worked out in the past, especially when they come up across like a 50B, for example. They have really done their damage.
Yeah, HE to death, I guess, but it's when they don't work out that just hurts so much.
And this could be a really funny overmatch to watch because Wallhacks is just cruising straight on over to that 8 line. And Dark Ninja actually turns and ran away before running into him, but that would have been pretty funny to watch.
It would have. But he'll just find Durgel instead. And Durgel slips away. Wallhacks in a forward position. This is unusual. Where Wallhacks currently is can, to a degree, be covered by tanks in other parts of the map, but it also definitely can't.
But look at the setup that Elevate have here.
What about it, James? What's going on? Show.
Yeah. So as we pull up the minimap here in a second, if you notice the angles because of Elevate, look at how they have this covered. They have all this one-line control. They have all of this. So they have the crossfires down this lane. They can easily get tanks up over to here to cover across here or back around into here. So the 5A is actually relatively covered. And if they try to shift Dare, that is, try to shift over into here, the guns are ready for it, and the 5A can rotate in. And if they try to flex anything through this whole courtyard right here, they're going to get spotted because of that aggressive position by Wallhacks. So overall, this should work out for Elevate. This is going to be really hard for Dare to really get in. The other thing to keep an eye on, the E3 up here in the north. He'll have clean vision on the south, so Wallhacks can't even get isolated from behind. And if he does, he just drops into the courtyard, into here where he's relatively safe, lasts for a good while, and this is just going to be really hard for Dare just to get out of. And the other thing to note, look down here, Type 5s. What's the problem with the Type 5s? They are big and slow. So trying to flex around on this map, that's really going to take away a lot of their options unless they go right now.
There we go. Wallhawks peeks out even to put a shell on the side of an I-7 turret. And it's the waiting game. It will be the waiting game for just a minute. And,
And Type 5s, they're just chilling in the south right now. E3 on the hill doing what he can to get some shots off.
And you know what, James? Because of the current pace of this one, I think let's go ahead and see what Elevate's got to say.
Sounds good.
And we're going to go ahead and listen in to their comms, see what they've got going on.
I can't get it anyway. So it's a
They
tight game.
can't siege that up. Only Breakfast died. But it's
I
not a good
spotted.
fight for them.
I'm tucked in as tight as I can get.
I'm not watching. Nobody's watching 3-line, by the way. Do you want me to watch 3-line?
I
Or-
could,
I can watch in courtyard maybe from back here.
I'm gonna watch 3-line. I'm not gonna. I don't have a
still
shot.
have
if they
8-line
PK
eyes?
shit. Yeah, fuck. I should have won.
I have.
It's backing up.
can we
What's
like...
the
E3 shot?
I
E3
can-
shot
I
from the
can-
hill.
I can try to get.
What's the HP of the Type 5? What is our, like...
He's full.
They're all full.
No one traded.
No
I
one
need to
is-
know if the I-7's still in the window.
E3 tried
Oh,
shooting
I
at me
can-
from the
I
hill.
can do that. I can peek it.
Impact can look for it too.
We can go back to the road as well.
E3's trying to blind me.
Impact,
and,
are you gonna light the I-7 or what?
I'm gonna try lighting G line.
Like the 8.
Okay, well, I'll try and light the I-7 now.
Because I want to
Wait.
leave.
I think you might have to leave. I don't think the I-7's there because Impact's just in the middle. I'm pretty sure the I-7's left.
They don't technically have 5 line easy.
Yeah, I can shoot that.
I saw that guy. He's just at Hudson's way.
So he was still...
It's going 8 line, maybe.
No, I'm watching it right now. If he crosses, I shoot him.
They're gonna start heading up towards the 8
Yeah.
now.
E3 on the hill. I had to shoot him. Fuck.
Sorry.
Might cross now. Can you still light it?
No, I can't.
Could be going
Impact
to
can
A
watch
line
from
right now.
D3. Yeah, Impact can watch from D3. Yeah, can we make sure we have this light? We need to have that light.
That, okay,
That?
let's get ready to close in south here.
Both types. In mid.
do you want that?
We're gonna go ahead and take a listen in with the other side, Dare, as they try to figure out this attack with 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
Play A6.
Move our heavies. You can move our heavies here, have IS-7 here.
We can play double cap. A7, A6 right now.
Let's do it.
Theodore into B7.
Harmless, pull back. Harmless, pull back. Watch my ass.
Spot the Type 5, he crosses. Spot the Type 5, he crosses.
Get on this side, Harmless. Or actually,
Moving
yeah,
down.
pull back. Harmless, pull back.
I don't think anybody can.
Harmless, pull back.
Getting on cap now.
You guys, you have to just get defensive position as much as you can. If you will
We
cover
are.
you. I will cover Bash. No, Dark, get on this side. What are you doing? Okay.
I don't know. I thought I could get HE splash from there.
Told
No.
you.
Fine, it's fine. Just Harmless, make sure
Going
they
down
get
eight.
lead.
Nice hits.
Okay, just get to the
Type 5s are alone. I'm going into 8.
Guys,
Fine.
I'm not
We're
spotting.
gonna get
I'm not
pushed.
spotting this
Harmless,
aggressive,
we just need to live. Harmless, shoot the Wheezy crossing.
We can just kill him, maybe. Their bat will be coming, probably.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get a light on that.
Durst, can we kill him?
Harmless, I think you should be playing this corner.
Alright, E3. No, that was Wheezy. Just fire. Let's go.
We got your cross, guys. We have your cross.
It's only Wally in the E3.
Nice, nice.
Kill him. You kill him.
Oh,
coming,
nice.
coming.
Kill.
Get on cap.
We
Bash
have
should
cross.
fire
Look.
too. Bash should fire too. Stay on cap. Stay on
Stay on
cap.
cap,
Stay on
Dark.
cap.
If you're gonna reload.
Bird, you got A-line. Harmless, we gotta be careful from behind.
Yeah,
us.
they're gonna try to push us, dude.
For a shot.
Yeah, we'll play fucking off that, dude.
3 minutes though, guys. 3 minutes.
Just play for cap. Let them cross.
I'm crossing.
We won.
I'm crossing.
I think someone crossed back here. I'm playing, yeah, 50B. I'm playing close to
Guys,
fog.
I'm
Wanna
getting
be
third.
somewhere on their
I'm
side?
getting third. Play for cap.
Okay.
Play
I
for
think
cap.
Harmless, push through the courtyard. Let's go.
You guys have to move
Yeah.
up. You 3. I don't know.
Harmless,
Just
push
look
through the
at
courtyard.
This is gonna be a play, guys. They're gonna smash.
Harmless,
in on us
yeah,
right now.
you have to hold this, Harmless, okay? I'm gonna go with 5-line.
3-on, 3-on. They have to push right now, guys.
If Ox pokes again, I'll have a shot. There we go. I have a shot. Bounced. Oh my god.
Kill bat, kill bat, kill bat, kill bat. 50B next.
Do it for damage. Play for damage. Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go. Play for kills. Play for kills.
Okay. Let's get Vetro. Just get Vetro. Dark. Let's
I
just
got a
get
shot
him.
on Vetro in a second. Kill shot. Somebody
Get
kill.
behind me. Get behind me. Fuck.
Get him.
Saved
That's
you.
all 4.
I got it too. Nice.
Get the bat.
He's behind a wreck for me. Can't poke out.
You have a Type 5 coming, guys. Don't worry.
I'm loading.
E3, can you read
E3's gonna shoot me.
nation? Take 5 once.
E3 shot.
Save.
Alright, E3 shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop poking him now.
External's coming in on me.
I think I'm gonna trade him though.
Aggressor, can you help me with the external?
I can't do anything.
Dark, you have to support Dirgil.
Yeah. Dirgil, I'm gonna be behind you.
Yeah.
Try to make them push in if you can.
He's
Nice. I'm
in.
going for killing off.
Got you. Yep. Nation, can you push off the hill now? Can you kill him or no?
Oh
my god.
I should still have him.
I'm just gonna have to push this.
He didn't kill me.
Our E3 is full health. We need to get him in there.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought I told
Go
you
back
had to
up.
go.
Well, I mean, I've been getting them the whole game. What the hell?
You got a minute, it's
yeah.
fine. Batch,
Yeah.
Batch, push up. We can get you on cap still. We can still play for the cap here. Let's go. Trust me. Yeah, trust me. It's not literally our only option right now.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we can. Their Weezy can be here though. You
That's
will
fine.
not know.
Like,
I can roll
there's
around and check for
literally-
that if you want, or watch Beeline. I'm watching Beeline right now. If you want me to watch this, I can.
Nice.
Aggressor,
hit.
can I go on the inside maybe? I don't know.
No, we have to play
No,
the cap.
no, just stay
push
there.
up. Just push
You're
up.
not on
Can you-
cap. You're not on cap.
Yeah, I'm trying
Dark,
to
you.
get...
Now he is.
He's on.
Aggressor, you have
Stop
to push.
moving.
Aggressor. This is it.
Stop.
You're on cap. You're on cap. You're on cap.
Make sure they can't.
I'm telling you, there's actually a chance Weezy's here, but
Look at it then, Dark.
Low
Dark,
I'm gonna
look at
push
it, Dark.
down from the hill. Let me push down from the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the
Weezy.
Weezy.
That's the
M5?
problem. That's the problem.
Dark, you're gonna have to kill him, alright? I'm gonna look the guy in front of you.
They're both there.
Don't even worry about the E3. I can finish it. Don't even
Okay.
We can't.
Yeah, just look behind.
Get in front of me,
Double tap.
I will.
Look, you guys gotta push right now. I'm gonna load it. Oh, fuck. I'm loading HE right now for the C3.
Yes.
He's just gonna get the reset.
Yes.
Kill you 3.
Nice block.
Shot.
Yeah, but
We still get 3? Or no, we gotta play for
cap.
cap.
We have to
Fine,
get
I'm
the
not just
kill on E3 and then push around.
I got him.
Push around.
On cap.
Push around, dark now. Now this way. You can't reset us. Come.
It's all.
Fuck.
So
they 15
enough
seconds.
time. Damn it.
God damn it.
That's
Close.
Dude, this is
Nation, you had to kill him earlier, and you pushed over.
I can't kill him.
Oh.
That was close.
Yeah.
That was really close.
And it was a pleasure, by the way, just to listen to those comms at the end, because they kept trying. They were so close. And it's just those tiny little things, that just threw off their ability to win.
Yep.
Good play by Elevate on the defense, putting tanks way out of zone, so that there's no way to finish the cap and get the kills and everything. But altogether, Dare did come up with a workable solution. They just had
I
bled a
like
little much.
I like the idea there. With the Type 5s in the south kind of being the anchor tanks, I talk about hammer and anvil strats sometimes.
Yeah.
Not quite the same thing, but some of the principles still apply. They have the heavy tanks in the south to slow down the rotation, but the other thing those Type 5s down there added is they had clean shots up the 5 line, so tanks rotating across could get punished. But 2 Type 5s, it's not something you can chew through quickly. Even 50Bs, Batchats, 5As, it's going to take a little while. You'll kill them eventually if you have enough tanks, but it's going to slow them down. And the rest of the tanks playing on the courtyard side, the E3 on the hill.
Really quick to interrupt. Something I noticed was there was focus fire being called, but it just didn't quite happen onto a lot of Elevate tanks. There were too many Elevate tanks that stayed alive long enough to deal a full load of damage, and then they were able to kind of die. But too many of those, the autoloaders in particular, got to get all shells off and were left alive with just a single shell to get the kill. I know it was tricky, but I do have to note that if that had happened, I think Elevate would have lost. Because they were able to get damage to be split, because they were able to keep the pressure on, and because Elevate is the best team in the league, they knew what to do.
Yep, and Canadian Impact doing what he can, 1,800 damage on the second page, but it drops off pretty heavily after there. On the front page, 2 of Dare's players, putting up top damage that game, but Ox doing 2,600. That was all they needed, really. Ox played that as well as he could. The 99 roll there from Harmless, that was unfortunate. That should have been a dead Ox Mathis, but he got very fortunate there.
I think I think he touched his gun. I think that's what it was. HE right onto the end of the gun barrel.
Yep.
99 damage.
So didn't manage to pick up the kill. Now we head on to battle number 6. Elevate, a 50B, an IS-7, 2 mice, a Type 5, an E3, and a Bat Chat 4 Elevate. Dare, a mouse, a Type 5, an IS-7, 2 5As, an E3, and a Bat Chat.
Okay. We'll see what happens with these. It's a pretty healthy lineup, I guess is the only thing really to say. There's about 700 extra hit points on the side of Elevate as the attackers over the defenders, and perfect. I love these plays. Opening scout run from 123. This is a proxy light, 50 meters, spots external, takes it all the way down, and then gets very, very close by trying to wedge himself into a little parking spot. At the same time, our camera operators decide to do really cool shots because it's early in the battle, and that's what we do.
And the key thing to note, Bird and the 5A of Aggressor have taken really aggressive positions on this D line, along with Nationwide in that E3. So they're really contesting this 8 line, really trying to slow down Elevate. Maybe we'll see something like we did at the Grand Finals at Elevate with the dual 8 line push from the north and the south, really isolating those tanks.
Oh goodness, that was a fun play when it happened.
Yeah, no, especially versus L Gaming and quarterfinals of the Grand Finals.
And because of what L Gaming is known for, and then getting something like that pulled on them, yeah, it's good stuff.
So we know it's in their playbook. So we'll have to see what they can do. And
I mean, theme and variations of that, yeah, I can believe that. We should see something along those lines.
So part of the reason why he's in there so far, it's not just to get a little bit of cover, but the main thing there is to extend the proxy range. Closer he is to that building, the farther he'll proximity light on the other side of those buildings. That way guaranteeing he's within that 50-meter prox range of that area. Get the lights on both sides on any rotating tanks.
Also, to note, Dodoma has gotten into position, overwatching the B-line entrance and allowing a Bat Chat, I believe that's Canadian Impact, to get into position without too many issues. One shell comes from outside of Dodoma's spotting range, off in about Alpha 3. Who is that? It's 5A, actually. That's not even Alpha 3, that's Alpha 2.
Yeah, I think that was Durgel in the 5A out there.
And here looks like the pinch onto a 5A.
Wallhack's getting caught out. Aggressor and Bird pushing forward, and 1-2-3 in behind. Yeah.
Oh, nice shots onto 1-2-3 external from downtown, getting those.
But they should find the isolation onto the 5A. Good penetrating shot there from Dare Rising. Wallhacks should maybe get one more shot
and
off.
Just like you said it, remember that north-south push? Well, in a sense, we're getting something of the like. Dodoma, actually, this is not going as well as it did that other time with the Yoga.
Yeah,
Aggressor and Bird are in fantastic positions where they've got great cover, they can do what they like. Canadian Impact taking sweet jumps and getting tracked mid-air. Dodoma, oh, that's Vetro doing Serpentine. And this is not so good right now for Element, because there's a mouse moving in behind their current position.
The I-7 external coming in from behind,
Canadian is walking into a crossfire.
Picks up the kill.
Nicely played.
They should be able to find the isolation onto Aggressor. They need to do this quickly, though. External still reloading. He should have the kill shot. He has to reload, and Dark Ninja is going to pick up Dodoma, but External finally picks up Aggressor there, and this is leaning in favor of Elevate. Extra gun, extra HP right now, but they need to get all their guns together to really close this out right now as these 2 mice, full HP for Elevate, working that 3 line. If they can move up a little bit further and really complete this pincer, this should be another nail in the coffin for Dare.
Maybe it should be. In about 1,000 hit point lead, this should begin to snowball itself into a strong position. But just like we've seen all day today, anything can happen.
And it's backwards day after all.
Yep, one backwards play should be able to clean this one up. E3 from Nationwide's getting into position. He's found Animalord Brett and Ox Mathis. He zeros. Decides Ox Mathis is the preferred target.
Vetro doing what he can. Finally goes down to the Type 5. Evens it out 4-on-4. HP's still in favor of Elevate, but ever so slightly as Canadian Impact starts taking some shots in that Bat Chat. Doing what he can versus Durgel. He should have the kill shot. He does.
Nicely done. Ox Mathis going down once Nationwide can get that kill. Nicely played with the TD. Just put your butt up against the wall. Wait for things to happen. Nice track shot on the assist from Animalord Brett. And another track shot, and the kill from Nationwide.
Takes down Ox.
Nice
Unfortunate there from Brett, doing what he can.
I think that's credit to Nationwide. He knew what to do. And with a mouse, it's hard to maneuver to, avoid an E3.
And Brett is literally bullying him right now, just pushing him around. Literally.
Yeah, well, once he gets to the corner, Nationwide can back up, just like that. And now he can work on face hugging. Harmless has his turret the wrong way. He has to just broadside himself in order to get his guns on target in time. And now he's just getting torn apart. Poor guy. Dare did what they could, but this is Elevate, and this is Himmelsdorf.
Like I said, Elevate's playground. Now, to be fair, Dare asked a lot of questions of Elevate on Himmelsdorf. Both games, really exploiting some weaknesses. Even this offense or defense out of Dare looked fairly impressive. They really made them work for it, punished them early on, but just weren't able to hold on there to close it out.
What it looks like they're doing is without too much detail, maybe, or too much detail work, or yeah, without a lot of emphasis on details. Dare is kind of taking tempo by just kind of throwing stuff out there, making sure that they're always doing something, always trying to progress their, or rather like set the scales in their favor. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably the big thing to look at here, is that Dare is trying to just put the pressure on, as opposed to what we've seen a lot of teams do in the past, which is take what opportunities present themselves, but not necessarily make any opportunities for yourself, right?
Right. And, Ox that game really struggling against Nationwide. He was kind of out of the fight for a good while, and at the end didn't actually do any damage this game, which is quite unlike Ox.
Yes. Wait, 0?
0.
Big fat goose egg.
Brett, top damage dealer, along with Canadian Impact. Canadian Impact in the bat chat being rather effective on Himmelsdorf, 110 fantasy points. Brett, 92. Impact, to be fair, is someone that we've looked over a lot for fantasy, but he's actually the second highest average point per game player for Elevate right now, behind Vetro, and Vetro having a relatively quiet night, so Impact might make a dent in that. And on the second page, speaking of them, Dodoma, Ox, and Vetro all on the second page here, and like I said, Ox not really able to get any shots that game. E3 hold down, not easy to do, and then he pushed up, got isolated in that one-on-one, and the E3 is a tricky tank to handle at close range.
Yep, and then GG.
Yep.
All right, so now we are moving on to Mines. And with Mines, one more win for Elevate, cleans us all up. It's a super defensive-sided map, guys. And with Elevate versus Dare, guess who's got defense first?
Dare.
It's not. It's Elevate, James. Yeah.
Yeah.
This could end right here, right now.
You are mistaken.
I'm mistaken? Wait.
You are mistaken.
What does my sheet says Elevate?
No, you can't read. You need to go further down.
Oh, I'm reading Himmelsdorf. Bob Saget. Bob Saget.
All right. Go get your reading glasses, Randall.
Actually, I do need a new prescription.
All right, guys. I digress. We move on to battle number 7. It is Elevate on offense against Dare Rising. A mouse,
I'm sorry.
3 5As, 2 bat chats, and a TVP. Dare Rising, a mouse, 2 5As, Foch B, an E4, bat chat, and a T100.
Can't even read, James.
Helps if you look at the right map.
It's okay. It's opposite day.
Fair enough.
All right, opening moves. Aggressor, Bird, spotted on the open. Looks like some shots on the move. Vetro and Canadian will avoid damage. Aggressor goes to the low ground to look at the 2-cap. And
TVP.
TVP, what about?
I haven't seen that a lot this season.
And me neither. I always thought it was a pretty decent tank. Pretty quick reload on the autoloader. Pretty decent damage output for what it can do. Great for short little engagements, especially with small teams like this. I do wonder why it's not picked more often over the Patton.
I just like how quickly it pumps out all 4 shots. It's 4 shots in 3 seconds, so.
Exactly. That's why it's really cool, because it's just damage, 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 damage. And also, that's track shot, track shot, track shot, track shot, track shot, which is just
So an Ox taking a beating early on. He's having a rough night tonight.
Yeah.
It is opposite day after all, but.
That's damage coming down from Harmless.
And just looking at this Dare Rising setup, nothing too crazy here. They are a little bit extended on the one line with both the 5A over there at G3 and both the T100 and the Batchet over at H1. the Foch B covering them, so they're really putting a lot of emphasis on that one line.
And it looks like Dare on the defense is going to be moving their T100 up. Not a bad play. This is a great way when you don't really have any huge advantages yet. Just send your T100 up. And by the way, pay attention to Dark Ninja's route. That's a safe way to go. Not always in pubs, by the way. I'll stress the difference here. Exactly what Dark Ninja's doing is not necessarily going to work for you in a pub, but it will work for you in format.
Different styles of play between pub matches and here.
It's just sometimes there's things that are universally useful as a scout and things that are very not universal. And Dark Ninja's doing works generally, but not universally. Because a lot of times, like, you'll have some weirdo in the low ground just rolling around in like a mouse or something, and you're like, why? You're so slow there.
Now that and plus that position requires a lot of support from teammates, which you'll definitely get in competitive play. In random battles, it's not something you can necessarily count on.
Little hit or miss.
Yeah. Team play is great when it happens, but one of the things said to me a long time ago was you just have to remember pub matches, you're alone. And if you play like that sometimes, you can do a lot of things, and when teamwork happens, it's great. And you want it to happen when it can. But sometimes you just have to just accept it's not. And that happens in competitive play too sometimes. If you're off by yourself on a weak flank.
It's just the little things that matter.
Yeah.
Just showing people through very tiny actions that you're there to help them, that you actually understand that they're of value to your team. Simping, blocking an opponent. It's a very easy way to show someone else that you're on their side. Unless they misinterpret the action and think that you're trying to steal a kill. But that's like 1 in 50, you know?
Yep. Now, looking at it right now, the rest of these tanks heading back towards the hill. Only the TVP and the 5A on the hill for Elevate, and that 5A is consistently being proximity lit by the mouse on the south end there.
Thank you, Wally. For a second, Wally was sitting very, very still, and I was like, oh no, don't be a disconnect. Please don't. He's kind enough to move, though. So we don't think he's dead. Canadian moves. Elevate's chilling. Dare's chilling.
A lot of the tanks for Dare are leaving that one line I talked about, how they had such an emphasis on it, but now that Dark has gone all the way up to E1 and knows there's nothing over there, they feel comfortable enough to rotate a lot of their tanks out, and they're supporting either the hill entrance now or the 8 line, so this is a good read from Dare right now.
They're figuring out where the attack's going to come from. Question is, are they going to take the appropriate actions once the push happens? That'll be what we're waiting for. But I think you're right in your assessment, which is this should be defensible for Dare. Should.
Tadoma and that mouse taking a lot of damage.
On his initial push in the middle of the map right now, Bird is almost alone, facing off against Brett and External, who will be focusing him out in just a moment. And Bird will back off, but he might not be able to survive very long.
And Tadoma takes the shots. The Canadian Impact and Wallhack's actually pushing in down next to the hill, so they're going to get close, and they should be able to focus out some of these tanks for Elevate, but they are bleeding a lot of HP. They do get the first kill, though.
Yeah, first kill, very well placed. That's exactly what you want on the attack, just that focus fire to kill that one tank. Canadian does go down, and that'll mean 2 tanks down for Elevate as they sink to 5,800 hit points to the 8K of Dare. Dare is in a position to hold, but they just need not overplay their hand. Harmless needs to deal the damage he can onto a mouse and not bounce all of his shots.
Delma is bouncing shots left and right from the bad chat of Harmless, but
those are the little
manages
things
to get around, and they're holding on right now. This isn't great. Dare's still in a better position.
3 seconds left on 123 being reloaded. Once he is loaded, that's plenty of damage to dish. And there it is. First one out. Follows it up with a second. It's track shot. Third goes a little bit high. Fourth. There, corrects into the proper position. And there's the kill shot from 123 after just one small error. It was actually very nice to see that Foch B.
Petro doing what he can up on the hill in that TVP.
And 20 seconds and 123 is going to have a full clip again, by the way.
And this is just one of those positions where Dare just need to almost not do anything and just keep their crossfire going, just stay complacent.
Rather
and they should
stay,
be able to close
stay vigilant.
Stay vigilant, yeah, excuse me.
It is opposite day, James.
I know, right? And so, you know, as long as they keep, 1, 2, 3 and the E4 in the back alive and well covered, they can pump out plenty of damage. Now, remember that Elevate are trying to attack on mines, and we made a big deal about Dare having the first defense, and that's because this map is so defensively sided these days that it certainly gives them an advantage, and Dare seem to be playing well enough today they can exploit those advantages. You know, some days, you know, say your 07 or Aquatic M60s, even when they played Elevate, even if they're on a map like Ruinberg or Mayans where it just favors one side or the other, there's such just a disparity in the skill between the two teams that you just can't capitalize on that advantage that you have. But Dare showing up to play today, really making Elevate work, really running them through their paces on every map they've played, and doing what they should here on this defense, really, you know, showing that they have everything covered, they know their rotations, they've done their practice, they understand what they're looking for.
They'll get the job done. Just as soon as anyone decides to start engaging. This will be a minute. This will certainly be a minute.
And Vetro, trying to get off the hill very carefully, manages to get off without taking any damage. Not always an easy thing to do sometimes.
Alright, so you want to listen to Elevate in just a sec, James? See what they're coming up with? Because I see what they're going for, but I'm not sure I understand entirely what their intent is. Let's find out what they have to say for themselves.
The aggressor's probably going to be looking at me.
If both you guys go...
I'm going.
Need 4 shot.
I think the flash shot in me.
I don't know. Am I gonna get over?
Sheet, man.
Bruh.
You can lock out the 200 at least.
Bro, I'm gonna crash in the rock. I
Careful,
almost
He's
died.
leaving, he's leaving. Can we shoot him?
Look at the team.
Spotted.
Bosch is peeked out.
Get safe. Why you want to cap?
Well, we're not gonna win by killing them all.
I'm not gonna win by capping either.
Had better chance of that.
Lock up the 200. He drove back up. He wasn't lit, unfortunately.
Alright. There you go.
Elevate doing what they could. But
That was kind of funny. It was like, we're not going to win by cap. We're not going to win by killing him either.
a little bit of sass back and forth there.
There's no other win conditions than that, James. That's literally the win conditions.
Yeah, and neither were really an option at that point, so...
I just love how they just addressed it as a team. Like, there was no, like, we lost. It's like they just tried to frame it, right? Like, well, actually, we didn't lose. It's not like there weren't any options. We couldn't cap and we couldn't kill them all. But, I mean, that's not to say that that was, you know...
Yeah, I mean...
it's like they never say they're actually going to lose. It's funny to see.
Just an alternative twist.
Yeah, it's I love when people phrase things like that.
Yeah, you know, looking at it, that's, you know, Dare making this 4-3 now.
Dare one more win, we go to a tiebreaker, and then Elevate, oh my goodness, didn't win totally everything.
And remember,
always.
like we talked about earlier, tiebreaker is mines, so one way or another, this ends on mines.
I will have to do a quick check then and see who has the fastest
Yeah.
win.
Looking at it so far, 1, 2, 3, 3,600 damage, 3 kills, 100 fantasy points. So we talked about how he's been kind of quiet recently this season, but showing up this battle, Durgil in the E4, another 2,750 fantasy points. Ox doing 2K, 35, top damage dealer for Elevate, but not a single other Elevate player on the front page. That is not something we're used to seeing. And there they all are on the second page there with Dark Ninja. And Dark Ninja, even in that T100 light tank, 1,400 damage, bottom damage dealer for Dare. That's still plenty respectable. And on the second page, just drops off. Vetro only getting 1 clip off really in that TVP.
Yeah, Dare didn't make enough mistakes, didn't leave enough openings, and, well, Elevate wasn't able to exploit anything. That's what happens on mines. Play it smart enough, and there you go. That's what's going to happen.
Now is the tough question.
What is the tough question?
Can Dare win an offense on mines against Elevate? Yeah, your answer is about as good as mine. If it wasn't backwards day, I'd say no. But we already watched 07 upset Eclipse earlier tonight in a victory that none of us saw coming. And now Dare Rising are really asking some questions of Elevate. You know, a lot of us wrote off Dare Rising going into this match, but they are really showing up to play today. And we'll have to see what happens as Panzerwagen for Dare is going right towards the hill, making sure they light anything going up onto that boost and being the first one to the hill as well.
Dare's up there. 1, 2, 3 is spotted. He takes 499, decides to stop instead of going. And, well, because of that, not a whole lot ventured, not a whole lot gained. 4 tanks spotted. I mean, that tells Elevate just asked. Dare found out something they already should have known. So, not a whole lot of gain and about 400, 500 hit points lost.
You look a little bit flustered there, Randall.
Well, because I don't like when scouts stop in the middle of a cross. Like, that's literally the spot you don't stop. And I don't mean that to say 1, 2, 3 is bad. He's usually excellent. I just don't like when he does that.
Tell me how you really feel.
That's about it. Yeah, I think
I mean, basically, if you're taking the hill early on, especially with a Panzerwagen, it's one of those things. But you know that there's a chance that you're going to pay a toll.
Yeah, but
you should just accept that going into it.
Yeah, but okay, I see where you're getting. Okay, and also if you're not going to go up the hill in the way that the 1, 2, 3 went, I probably should have gone with a west loop on the mid. Like, you don't have to go on the entrance to the hill. Everyone's already aiming there. If you go up a little bit to the west. If you look on the mini-map, you can generally spot the same stuff without the risk.
Well, looking at E5 playing that hill entrance, and if you'll notice, the weak spot of that E5 is that cupola, and so far Bird's doing everything he can to hide it behind the right side of that rock, but you can see wall hacks. Every time he pokes up, he's waiting for a shot on that cupola.
And he's just out in the open. He's just sitting there out in the open, just waiting.
Yeah. Nationwide does get spotted.
Wall hack spotted as well.
Blind shots coming out for Bird towards the bushes, hoping to find a tank destroyer.
They don't find anything. Little spotting. T100 shoots at Aggressor. Aggressor shoots back. Doesn't seem to do anything with that. And Canadian gets to walk away a little free damage. Now, if Canadian gets pushed, he'll take plenty of damage. Probably go down. There's a 5A, 2 5As, sorry, and a bat chat in the area. Covering are a bunch of tanks not quite looking at the T100. So I think we could both agree. Canadian Impact backing off where he is right now. Smart play. Because ultimately, he's been discovered in his previous position. Dare's going to be figuring out a way to dig him out. He's probably the most vulnerable tank on the battlefield right now. And if you're going to do anything to kind of weaken the defensive position of Elevate, you're going to attack that. Now, if you're a high-level team like Dare, though, at the same time, you might understand that the T100 is probably leaving. It's probably not going to stick around, and he's going to go hide in the bush. Yep.
Just taking another shot at that cupola, hoping you get a hit, but not finding it. Now, the tricky thing about Canadian Impact and the spot he's in is that's going to be really difficult to
get out.
Well, not to get out, but I'm talking about for Dare, trying to find him.
Oh, yeah, that'll be nice and tricky. The nice thing for Dare, though, is most of the positions they'll go into anyway, Canadian's position won't spot anything additional that wouldn't have already been spotted. So it's a great position to spot far north and to just get a general view of a lot of stuff. But ultimately, there are actually a lot of positions further back and safer that provide the same level of vision for the most part. So it's the reason why Canadian Impact's little hidey hole bush thing, which we're just showing you for a sec, is not like amazing, and why it won't actually probably do that much for you in a pub is because it works, but like there's really not anything in the area. Like no one goes here. It's a giant open killing field. So like no one's driving down to say how you doing. That's pretty much it. So like let's move on. Find something else more interesting.
Well, it looks like they're stacking up for a push over on the 9-0 with the WZs. Mouse in the E5, holding that middle hill for Dare. They are down on HP by about 300, 200 give or take to start this game.
Okay.
Not to start this game, but at this point, after trading a few shots. So...
See, we're just gonna... Dare's just kind of gonna YOLO out?
See, Dare haven't found any ways to start chipping away anymore at Elevate. And when you're making these sort of pushes, you know, we talked about it, I want to talk about it again, paying a toll. When you start a push, especially across a long, open, field like this, like the 8-9 line, you have to understand you're going to pay that toll. So that's going to be HP you're going to give up. And we're going to see it come out right now. If you can soften up the defending team beforehand, at least once you pay that toll, you're on even ground. Right now, if they pay the toll, they're going to be starting out in a deficit.
In debt. And here's the push. 5As are moving forward. Dark Ninja takes no damage quite yet. External taking just a little bit along with Wallhacks. Ox Mathis, a slight lead right now for Dare and hit points. However, that's going to even up nice and quick. Focus fire going towards Ox Mathis as everyone from Elevate is grouping up, and it looks like this will be...
He catches 1, 2, 3.
Counter push coming out. This is what it'll be. Wallhacks, external, Anime Lord Brett. Instead of sitting still waiting for them to walk in your guns, Brett's going to 1v1 onto Bird while Wallhacks and external deal with Nationwide. See there? Anime Lord Brett gets the kill. Worth the exchange, external and Wallhacks can focus on the nice and sticky mouse, while elsewhere on the map, Canadian is just going to make himself as annoying as humanly possible against Harmless.
Aggressor does pick up the kill onto Brett, getting up onto that hill. Vetro doing what he can to just hold out in this base and really stop these 5As from going anywhere. Only the other E4 in the backfield ready to cover him.
Wow, coverage. Okay, T100 Canadian just kind of holds a bat chat around for a minute, just distracts him. Tadoma comes in with just a sick kill. So great teamwork right there. And with 4 tanks alive, nice shot. Okay, Wallhacks gets 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is just Elevate showing us why they're awesome. So don't be concerned. Aggressor, fully loaded, 4 shells, can take out Wallhacks, can't take out external, especially because it's a 5A. Be tricky. Tadoma still in his E4 position. Aggressor, well, Aggressor knows that he can play Ring Around the Rosie with a 5A.
But now T100's coming in, he has the HP to cut him off.
Oh, goodness. Yep, that's what's happening here, guys. Canadian lines up a shot. Aggressor realizes, yeah, guys, you just let me off the hill. I'm kind of okay now.
External does pick up Aggressor.
Okay, that works.
Good read there from Canadian Impact, excuse me.
Now Durgil and Dark Ninja are the only tanks left. There's not a lot they're going to be able to do here. They're kind of pinned. They don't really have a hit points advantage, and, well, the push didn't come in with any advantage. We noted that before. That's kind of the problem when you make an attack against this.
I really have to like the read out of Ox there. When that push started with the 5As, he didn't actually fire. He knew it was a bait. A good read there. He just assumed that they were trying to get that Panzerwagen up there, and he held his shot. He held that angle. He took damage. And I was wondering for a second if he was disconnected, but it became pretty apparent that he was just waiting for that boost, hoping to pick it off. He figured my tank is worth dying for if I can stop that boost. And he got the shot onto the 1, 2, 3. The problem was it didn't penetrate, only did 600 damage. That's the problem with the Type 5 is it's low penetration. We've seen what happens when it penetrates, but this time didn't come through.
Later on, though, it seemed like Elevate was aware of the tank and was able to deal with it.
Yeah, they still knew he was up there. And
yeah,
exactly. So
it's like he could have maybe tried to survive longer, but ultimately the fight was going to Elevate. I mean, the T100 play that I got to see on my observer over here, Bat Chat versus T100. There's a T110 E4. I think that's Dodoma covering from down his traditional defensive position, and just watching those plays was great. Let's actually take a moment and review the entire match from Elevate versus Dare. Elevate starts off with an amazing win. Dare comes back. Elevate punches back. Everyone punches back again. And then once we get into Himmelsdorf right here, this is where things started to settle. Elevate won battle 3 and 4. And then 1 loss on mines on attack from Elevate and a solid defense. So not bad at all. Dare showing us they do know what's up, and ultimately I don't regret my Dark Ninja choice on my fantasy team.
No, not at all. You had a pretty strong match tonight. Dodo, 4K, 2 kills, not having a bad game there. External in that 5A. Doing what he can, 2,700, 1 kill. Dark Ninja, 2,400, top 4 Dare Rising, and it drops off after there. Nice damage on Canadian Impact, actually, 2,200 in the T100 light tank. I expect a T100, get off 1,000, maybe 2,000, maybe, but 2,200, that's respectable.
Well, it's because of the way he gets to engage and the way he plays it. He's making it so that every time he engages, he really only needs to fire once. Right. So he just needs to go in there with his effective, he's using it like a musket almost.
Right.
Just shoot and leave.
Understand that he shouldn't be trading. Just fire a shot and leave. And looking at the fantasy points as they come in here, this is once again going to be a backwards day, because if you notice who's not on the front page, Vetro or Ox struggling in this series, and Bird Nationwide doing what they can. Ox 310, Vetro 300. So overall, nothing too crazy there. we'll have to see the offline reports because with some of those games going really long, like that top tier match, that's really going to skew the fantasy points for the day.
Oh yeah.
So overall, though, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Now we are going to be joined for a winner interview by Comps. So let's go ahead and welcome him back to the show.
So Comps.
Hello.
That was pretty okay for Elevate as far as expectations. What happened? It
That was
seemed like
a bad game.
Bad game?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just from the comms, like it's like 2 to 3 of our guys just didn't show up to play. So, I mean, I guess it's a win, but it was pretty sloppy, and it wasn't on par with what we're capable of.
What's the normal response that you guys will have as leadership of Elevate to days like this? Like, what's the normal response? Like, what do you tell a player? Like, what do you work on?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll go back, review the replays, just make sure it wasn't just RNG or bad luck, that type of stuff. But if it's actual positioning or just bad play, then it's on the player to make up for that and learn what they did wrong and make sure it doesn't happen in the future.
All right, fair enough. I don't think I really have too many questions. I mean, I think you just pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, we actually don't have much for you, Comps. Actually, I'll just ask you right now: do you have much to say for that match?
Past what you've already said?
I mean, aside from what we already got here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was pretty sloppy, so hopefully, I guess we're on broadcast next Thursday. So I guess we'll try to clean things up and be back to top shape again for Kill Team 6.
All right, I guess the last question is summary of your first round robin. How do you feel it went?
Well, it started off well, and I guess it ended like slightly offbeat from where we were at. But I mean, 7 wins and 7 matches, you can ask for anything better. So I mean, overall, I guess it's good work from the guys, and hopefully we keep up, I guess, the same pace for the second round robin and through the finals.
All right, fair enough. Any final shout outs before we let you go?
Nope. I mean, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the match, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, Comps. See you next time.
All right.
Later.
All right, now that this last